Good early morning, warm blessings. I am surprisingly kid-free this morning, and so I actually have tomorrow morning, I have to lead a accountability group with some network marketers from all over the world, and it's my day to train them. So these are people from different companies who are not Scentsy, so I'm the only Scentsy person there. So we have agreed to train each other for the next few weeks, and tomorrow's my day. So I chose a topic that I was a little bit hesitant about, but I thought, you know what, I'm going to train them on something that I'm currently learning. And so what I'm currently learning is about customer acquisition. So in Scentsy, you're in a business, and it can be really easy, especially for newcomers to Scentsy, to get really wrapped up in the Scentsy purple Kool-Aid and get wrapped up in all the Scentsy jargon, parties and Scentsy Club and follow-up systems and leadership thing, you know, just the Scentsy jargon we're always hearing. But something that we don't talk about enough and we don't do enough is doing our own personal research, business research outside of the Scentsy walls. And that for some people might be blasphemy, but I feel like as a good business owner, it's a good practice to network with other network marketers and to also utilize YouTube University and attend a few classes. Not saying everything that's put on the internet is true. It's not, but you need to use some discernment when it comes to your research. But looking out there at what other businesses, even though we're not a brick and mortar business, we're a party-based business, we're social sellers, direct sellers, looking online at how other business models do some of the similar things that we need to do. All businesses need customers. All businesses need to acquire customers, right? So do we. So going out there on the internet and on YouTube and whatever and finding anything outside of what Scentsy currently offers. I'm not saying what Scentsy currently offers in our training center, our Tuesday things, our end of the month lives, our week planning ahead, our weekly planning training. Scentsy is, when it comes to specific to Scentsy training, Scentsy business trainings. And I 100% encourage you to go to your workstation today to the training center and find a training that you want to watch when it comes to Scentsy. However, what I am suggesting too is that we don't overlook the fact that there are businesses that thrive outside of our business, and it's okay to look at what they are doing and see how we can apply it to our business, if that makes sense. Okay, so customer acquisition. So I wanted to talk to you guys about this because I have to do this training tomorrow, and I've watched 2 great videos today, and I'm not sure, and they're similar, but they're different, and I'm not sure how to combine them. So, because I don't have a very limited amount of time, so I'm going to try to condense what I'm saying right here now for you guys too. So I think I'm just going to share with you all the second video I watched about customer acquisition versus customer retention. It's not very long, but I do want to give you all some meat and potatoes to apply to your business. I mean, right now in summer, some people call this the summer slowdown, the J-month syndrome, whatever you want to call it. If that's what you want to claim, then sorry about your luck, but that's probably what you're going to, bring to you is that slowdown. And I'm not doing that. So summer is not a slowdown for me. Summer is a season where my business focus may change a little bit. And I think that it should, and I'll talk about that at the very end of what I'm going to say, is that there's a season for each thing. There's a season for customer retention, and there's a season for customer acquisition. And so I'm going to dive right into it for you all. And as I was watching this video I don't even know what this person sells. It doesn't even matter. This is a business video. So I was applying this through my Scentsy goggles, through my Scentsy filter. How could I come and share this with our team to encourage them to work their business on a different level, to think outside of the Scentsy box? And there's nothing wrong with the Scentsy box. Please hear me when I say that. I'm not telling you to do everything against what Scentsy says. It's not what I'm telling you to do. I'm telling you to just know that there are other ways to run a business that may actually be better for you than the ways that we are trained. So yeah. All right. So customer acquisition versus customer retention. So what does that mean? Customer acquisition, I looked online, I found the Webster definition. To acquire, I think that's the root word of acquisition, is to come by. So when you are acquiring customers, you are coming by new customers. It is to come by, it is to gain, it is to get by one's own efforts, okay? Retention, or to retain customers, is to keep or maintain. So to keep them or to maintain them, okay? So that's the definition. Acquire means to get, retain means to keep, essentially. So you need both in a business, because these are the two driving factors of growth in any style business, whether it's direct sales, whether it's a brick and mortar, whether it's an online service, whether you sell a product. The two driving factors of growth are customer acquisition and customer retention, okay? A customer base will expand by acquisition. Sorry, I gotta get the rest of my coffee in so I can share this with you all. A customer base expands, gets bigger with customer acquisition. So, customer acquisition is getting new customers, coming by new customers. So, what are ways that we can do that? You can come by new customers through various ways. I'll go back to some of my other. Okay, so I actually won't get into how to acquire new customers, because that'll be a separate training once I figure out what I'm going to share with these girls tomorrow based on these two trainings. So right now, here's the thing you need to know about customer acquisition. Customer acquisition, getting new customers, can be almost 5 times more expensive in your business than retaining customers. That's I don't know about y'all, but I don't really have that kind of money to spend on acquiring new customers all the time. So what I mean by that, customer acquisition is higher because if you think about in the Scentsy world, what are we doing with new customers? If someone's never experienced Scentsy before, maybe you're making them a trial packet. So you're making them wax samples. Maybe you're giving them a scent circle, laundry, counter clean, any old testers that you have, a catalog. So it costs more money to have updated materials to give out to your new customer, because you want to provide, especially a brand new, I call them Scentsy virgins. Now, somebody who's never tried Scentsy before is a Scentsy virgin. So you want to provide the best first impression experience that you can with them. So I'm not going to give them like old catalogs with a new showcase brochure stuffed inside. I'm going to make sure that they have a brand new catalog. I'm going to make sure that they have brand new scents to try. Maybe a couple of classics in there. Black Raspberry, Vanilla, Luna, Welcome Home. I'm going to give them more samples than I generally would. Scent of the month sample in a flyer, or even if I have to print it, you're still investing. When they say cost is 5 times higher with a new customer than it is with an old customer, they don't just mean that in money. They also mean it in your time and your energy. Those things are valuable too. Just like money, your time and your energy is valuable too. Okay. So you're not just only spending time and money making samples, but you're putting together a packet for them. You're giving them, maybe things that you've printed off the internet. So that costs money and time and energy too. Okay. So that's for a new customer. What if it's a party host? What if it's a new party host, or even a returning party host? Again, you're still going to have to be putting time and energy and money into creating a bag party or a host packet, or maybe if you don't do those tangible things for your online party host, maybe you're host coaching them through text message or Facebook message, but again, that's you paying in time and energy. So with a host packet, sometimes you're adding in testers and samples, again, like you would with a new Scentsy consultant pack. Catalogs, because you want them to give them out to their friends. I'm specifically thinking of a bag party here. You want them to give them out to their family and friends, so they'll want to order forms, putting a pin in the bag, putting maybe a product. Maybe you put a small warmer, especially for somebody who's never tried Scentsy before and they want to host with you. Maybe you put a mini warmer in there with a couple of cubes of wax so they can actually test the product. Maybe it's an old customer who's having a party with you, and you're still trying to expand your customer. You're still trying to acquire new customers, so you give them maybe something they've never tried before. Maybe they've never tried a mini fan or a wall fan, and you throw that in there with a pod. I mean, these things are costing you a little bit of money. Even if you got them for free, you had to spend time and energy to do follow-ups to get your host rewards, to get those things for free to put in bag parties. I'm talking really fast, but I'm really thinking through this, and I'm speaking as I'm thinking, so that's why I'm talking really fast. So, again, it costs money to have samples made, happy mail, postage, updated products for your new party host or your new customer. Maybe you're just meeting someone for a a sip and sniff at a coffee shop because someone wants to smell the new scents and they just really wanted to have a one-on-one with you, and you're like, great, sounds good, I'll meet you at Starbucks and we'll have a cup of coffee and I'll share with you all the new scents because it's a new catalog month, or maybe you haven't had the new spring and summer scents yet, so let's sit down and let me share with you my top 12 favorite scents. That's still time and energy and money and mileage and gas and your coffee to get there. Anyway, so customer base expansion can cost up to 5 times more money to acquire a new customer. Am I discouraging you from acquiring a new customer? No, I'm not. I'm just simply stating facts for you right now, okay? Because I'm going to get to something in a second that hopefully will make sense. Hopefully we'll come back full circle. We'll see. All right, the next one. Customer lifetime value, or CLV, customer lifetime value increases with increases as a result of retention. So customer lifetime value increases as you retain your customers. These are your loyal customers, your returning customers, customers who keep coming back to you. I'm sure if I asked you right now to think of 5 customers who have supported your business since day one, or maybe I could ask you to give me 5 of your most loyal customers since January. You could probably roll off at least 3 to 5 for me. These are your loyal customers who choose you for a particular reason. So encouraging them to continue to come back to you is a part of retention. So retention, I think of retention as customer follow-up, as keeping them in the know of new information. So weekly emails, or a VIP text list, or a VIP group, or a business page, personal one-to-one connection with them, asking them, getting to know your customers in a way that that Susie Joe does not like bakery scents, so I will not be sending her a sample of baked apple pie. Knowing that John over here loves all the manly scents. He does not want anything floral, so I'm not going to be sending him a sample of Luna, okay? So kind of knowing your customers on a one-to-one level will help you to retain them. So customer retention has there's a lot of things that you can do to retain a customer. There's a lot of things that you can do to try to retain a customer and they still leave you. This is called business. This is what happens. So retaining a customer. So here's one thing here's a statistic that's pretty powerful. Selling to your current customers. So these are your retained customers. Selling to your current customers is easier to do by 60 to 70% versus getting a new customer to buy, a brand new customer to buy. They may buy between 5 and 20% of the time. So a returning customer is probably going to shop from you anywhere between 60 and 70% of the time, whereas a brand new customer may shop from you between 5 and 20% of the time. So when you look at those statistics and knowing that acquiring a brand new customer can be more expensive sometimes, is the ROI, the return on investment, really worth it in a season that you're in right now versus keeping your current customers loyal to you and coming back to you, okay? So retention of your customers, keeping your customers, boosts your word of mouth referrals. When you're taking good, excellent care of your customers, when you're getting to know them, like them, and trust them, and vice versa, they're getting to know, like, and trust you, they are going to be more willing to refer you to their friends and family. And this is the most effective, and again, this is not coming from anything Scentsy related. This is straight from a business marketer, service provider on YouTube. The most effective form of marketing in your business will come from word of mouth referrals because they trust you. There was another thing I wanted to mention about that they said, and I wrote it down. Okay, retention feeds into your acquisition of new customers with free publicity. So when you're retaining your current customers, taking really good care of them, establishing a level of trust, they're going to want to refer you to their friends and family and network. So your retaining one customer is actually going to feed into you possibly acquiring new customers freely. For free. Okay? You didn't have to do any marketing or paid advertising or creating new product kits and different things like that, because your old customers are going to refer you because of how great you take care of them to their friends and family who you're going to be able to acquire freely. All right, so here's a good question that was asked in this video. Should you focus on customer retention or customer acquisition? And I thought, powerful question. If you're on a tight budget, and let's be honest, 95% of us here are on a tight budget when it comes to their Scentsy business. We don't have extra funds to be frivolously throwing out there to gain all the brand new customers. Am I right? Can I get an amen? Because I currently do not have that kind of extra money right now. So if you're on a tight budget, retention is going to be the answer for you right now. Okay. Keeping your customers can increase your profitability in your business. Keeping your current customers happy and with you can increase your profitability anywhere from 25% to 95%. That's a huge jump. Why is it such a huge jump? I was thinking about it. They didn't say, but I was thinking, why is it such a huge jump between keeping your customers can mean profitability to your business between 25 and 95%. That's a huge jump. Why? It's going to depend on how you decide to keep your customers coming back to you. It's going to depend on your level of customer experience, customer service. It's going to depend on your level of one-to-one communication that you have with your customers, on the level of trust that you have with your customers, and how you're taking care of them. So it's going to depend on your follow-up system. Do you have one? Are you consistent with it? No, those are the two main questions when it comes to follow-up. Number two, how are you staying in contact with your customers group-wide? Do you have a VIP group that you consistently post in? Is it engaging and interactive? And if not, how can you change that? Do you have a one-to-one communication with your customers easily through, like, let's say, workstation email with not just the newsletter that Scentsy sends on our behalf when we have a PWS or a personal work website? Are you sending your own emails through Workstation? Workstation, communications, contacts, select all, email, whatever you want to say. Do you have a weekly text program? Do you have, I don't know, what is it? What is it that you do to retain your customers? Okay, so as another part of that question, should you focus on retention or acquisition? I thought, I wrote this down as my notes. There's a season for each. There's a season for retention and there's a season for acquisition. However, that's not black and white. That does not mean only during this time of the year I'm going to focus on following up with my customers and keeping my customers mine. Only in this time of the year I'm going to focus on brand new customers and acquiring new people and expanding my customer base. That's not what I mean. There's going to be a mix of both all the time. So you need to think of it as a percentage. Okay, your business is the 100%. So what percent of my business am I going to put on customer retention? And what percent of my business am I going to put on customer acquisition? For me personally, right now, this is my personal opinion. Disclaimer, Katie's personal opinion coming in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Summertime for me is going to be a season of retention. This is going to be when I'm focusing heavily on making sure that my follow-up system, Lord bless it, because since Sell with Amy left, I've been struggling with my own follow-up system. I've got some great systems that'll work for anybody, but if you're not working for your system, then your system's not working for you. And that's where I am right now. It's a personal struggle of mine. I've got two different follow-up systems I could be using, but I'm not currently using them, so they're not working for me because I'm not working for them. Okay? So that's what I'm actively working on, is how to get a flipping follow-up system that I'm going to work and I'm going to use, okay? Consistently is super important with that. So summer for me is a time where I'm focusing on retention of my customers. I'm taking care of my customers. I'm having follow-up with them. I'm building my relationship with customers, especially new people that I've gained from parties back in the early spring when the new catalog, spring and summer, came out. I had a couple of parties. I've gained some new customers, right? Acquired new customers. So now I need to focus on retaining them, having them come back to me another time. Because I don't know if you knew this, but 70% of first times, and this is a Scentsy statistic from 4 years ago. So who knows what it is right now? 5 years ago. 70% of first-time customers with a Scentsy consultant will not return to them. Why? From a lack of the consultant's follow-up with the customer. That should be a scary enough statistic that makes you say, you know what, today's the day I'm going to find a follow-up system that works for me and I work for it, and we're going to become best friends, and I'm going to be consistent with it because I want my Scentsy business to work, and I want to build extra paychecks on the side or turn this into a full-time business or whatever your goal is. I need Scentsy to work, so I'm going to find a flipping follow-up system that works for me and I work for it. That statistic should scare you enough, because here's the thing. If you think about that, you worked so hard, you spent time, energy, and money to acquire a brand new customer, however that may have been, and they purchase from you one time, and there's a 70% chance that they're going to leave you and never return. So was your return on investment there if you can't keep that customer or at least have them come back to you a couple more times? This is a business, y'all. You have to think. Listen, direct sales, anybody can sell. Anybody can come in direct sales and sell something. Anybody can be a salesman. Even though you say, oh, I'm not a salesperson. Anybody can be a salesperson. But you have to think of this as the actual business that it is. And if you think of it as the actual business that it is, you're going to put on your business goggles, not just your Scentsy goggles, but your, like, these are some goggles because I can't see and my prescription is terrible. And I got like Coke bottle glasses. Like, it's a whole thing. Anyway, put on your Scentsy goggles, put on your business goggles, and see things from a business perspective if you're actually interested in your Scentsy business becoming successful and profitable. Okay. And it all is going to come back full circle to your customers, to your customers, to your customers. If you do not have customers, you do not have a business. If you do not have customers, you do not have sales. If you do not have sales, you do not have a business. It's that simple. So we're in Warm Blessings, we're going to be focusing on customers. We're going to be focusing here on customers. Now, if you're a leader, you have a team and you have leadership questions, if you have leadership concerns, if you're ready to take it to the next level as far as advanced leadership is concerned, you need to reach out to me directly. But for this team in Warm Blessings, I want to help you run a successful business, customers, sales, your paycheck. That's what it all boils down to. If you don't have customers and you don't have sales, you don't have a paycheck. And every single person, not everybody, but okay, I don't know what kind of statistic. I can't throw a statistic out there, but I'm not going to be so specific. But I will say that for the majority of people, generally speaking, for one reason or another, have come into Scentsy to make extra money. Somehow, some way, for some reason. So if you want to make extra money, if you want your paycheck to increase, you've got to focus on your customers, finding new customers, keeping your current customers. And in what season are you in right now, as of June 2023, what season are you in your business? Is it a season of retaining your customers, keeping your customers yours, or is it a season of getting brand new customers? And again, this is a percentage. We're going to do both all the time. But right now in this season of summer, are you focusing more on retaining your customers, or are you focusing more on acquiring new customers? And how are you going to get new customers, and how are you going to retain them? Like I said, me personally, my opinion, Katie's opinion, this summer I'm working on retention. Come fall in the new catalog, September 1st, and the harvest collection and holiday things, I know my customer base well enough to know that this is going to be a time where they're going to be wanting to host parties. Parties equals new customers. I'm going to say that one more time for the folks in the back. Parties equals new customers. You're looking to acquire new customers the old-fashioned way, parties is where it's at when it comes to Scentsy business, okay? So in the fall is when I have the most of my parties. That's just historically speaking, in the 10 years of my business, fall and winter is where I have the most parties. That's where I meet the most people. Okay, so parties should be an ongoing thing all year long, but for me, my focus on parties is always fall and winter. That's where the heaviest percentage is for me in my business. Okay, so I'm going to wrap it up by saying that think about your business in terms of customer acquisition, acquiring, coming by, getting new customers, and customer retention. Keeping, maintaining your customers. As a percentage, as a whole, they make up 100%. But where is your percentage focus going to be the most right now? Keeping your customers or getting new ones? And then how are you going to do those things? What are you going to do to do those things? All right, that's what I wanted to share with y'all. So now that I've given y'all that training, I may turn around and give it to my folks tomorrow. Or I may not. I may go back to the other training where it gave me 7 ways to acquire new customers. That was a video I watched on YouTube. It was pretty helpful, Anyway, y'all have a great rest of your Wednesday. I would love if you dropped in the comments, number one, replay, so it'll bounce it back to the top for people to watch later when they're off work, since I know that it's 8 a.m. And then the next thing I would ask you to do is decide today and drop it in the comments. What are you going to focus on? Acquiring new customers or retaining your current customers? What do you want to focus on? Y'all have a great day. Bye.